respected guest, the second session of the day on multimedia and virtual content creation with AI. We looking forward to an insightful and engaging session as we explore through AI is reshaping academic practices and institutional excellence. It's now my privilege to introduce our next esteemed speaker, Dr. Harshita Tuli ma'am. So Dr. Harshita Tuli is a seasoned associate professor with 14 years of academic experience specializing in computer sciences and engineering. A scholarly, she excels in teaching, research, curriculum design, and student mentorship. Ma'am holds a PhD, MTech, MCA, and BSc honors mathematics from DU. Ma'am also have a prestigious AI ML certification from IIT Delhi. Ma'am passions lies in pursuing the boundaries of AI and ML and the data sciences, particularly within the healthcare sector. Throughout her career, Ma'am has authored around 15 well-regarded research papers published in renowned journals. MAM's expertise spans a range of areas, including data structure and algorithm, AI and ML, design and analysis of algorithm, and theory of computation. A lifetime membership of Computer Society of India, CSI, MAM has made significant contribution to both academia and industry. Notably, MAM also worked as an intern on the image classification project for DRDO, showcasing her versatile and practical application for research. We welcome you, ma'am, for the enriching session of the second day of our FDP.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for lovely introduction. Am I audible?
Ma'am, your voice is not audible.
Ma'am. Am I audible?
Ma'am, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you so much for confirming. Thank you so much, Rohit, sir, for the lovely introduction. So, can I start the session? Am I audible? Is it breaking?
Ma'am, you're completely audible.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You're audible. Again, ma'am, a very warm welcome from DBIT.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm switching off my camera so that the bandwidth is saved. Kindly bear with that.
Sure,
Will it be fine? Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Should I start with the session?
Yes, ma'am. Kindly take over.
Thank you so much. So I hope the slides are also visible, right?
Yes, ma'am. The slides are visible.
Thank you so much, Rohit. So, as far as the theme of the FDP is concerned, I find that this particular topic is really relevant for today's teaching and learning methods, and teaching and learning and pedagogical methods for any institute which is which actually wants to provide the best of the best to the students, as well as the students, uh, to keep a check on the students' data as well. So multimedia and visual content creation using AI. So I remember that there was a time when we used to consider that multimedia is just the pictures, the audios, the videos that we used to share, the animated figures and facts that we used to share while delivering a particular lecture. But now the things have really changed. The things have really taken up a speed of, I guess, terabytes, and so that I'm taking the word terabyte, although it represents storage, but the thing is gigahertz and everything, it has been crossed, because the thing is while creating a particular multimedia image or video or content, uh, AI has taken over, I guess, in all the fields that are known to us. If we are teaching, if we are updating any of the social media accounts, if we are dealing with any of the presentations, if we are dealing with any of the papers or whatever, or the content that we watch on YouTubes and Facebook and everything else, the reels. So I think this particular topic is really burning in today's time, because everybody wants to be updated, and the entertainment and the learning method has gone to such a level that if your content, whatever you are delivering, is not entertaining, I don't think any of us would be interested in watching it. As far as students are concerned, unka to attention span, I would say, is such a small thing. They would not even listen to us for 2 minutes or so. So I think this is a really relevant topic for practices, for pedagogical practices that are concerned. So if we talk about the introduction part, so AI today has changed the multimedia and visual content creation. As I've already mentioned this thing, the kind of multimedia we are producing, the kind of content we are delivering, the kind of content that is available and we are creating beyond that limit is really exponential. The speed has gone really exponential since we have got the tools like ChatGPT, like Dell E. So the things are really, the speed has really increased a lot. The automation of multimedia and the things and the processes through AI has made the high quality multimedia creation really faster. One, it has delivered everything in really cheap prices. That means everybody, the individual today that is on road, can create any of the reels, can use AI using the models that are available, and create and generate new facts and figures. You can morph the pictures, you can create smarter pictures from available databases, and so on. So AI has changed the level and the version of how word takes upon multimedia. When we talk about AI, so there are various dimensions that we go through. First thing is the automation of content creation. See, now it is not that we are just clicking a picture and then describing anything about that picture. No, it is not needed. What we are doing today is we are giving the prompts to Chat GPT to design a particular flow chart for us. Maybe for each one of us, suppose we have to create a hierarchy of our organization. What we do is we just, there's no need to drag the no need to, I mean, go through the create io and all these tools that are available, the rational rows or everything that is available on for UML practices. What we can do is, what the students can do as well, is just to give a proper prompt to the Chat GPT and other generative AI tools, and they can create that particular content in seconds, in fraction of seconds. So the content creation, which earlier used to take a lot of time, that earlier used to take a lot of effort from the brainy minds, now it is not required. It is like you just need to learn the proper prompts that you have to give to these generative AI tools, and then the automation of the content is there. It is faster and effective. So obviously, since everybody is using, and what we used to do, हमको एक UML diagram create करने में it used to take us, I mean, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, और जितना भी जिसकी speed है उस चीज को करने के लिए. But now you don't need that much time. You just have it is done on a fraction of clicks or fraction of seconds. So it is cost effective because the free versions are creating all these things, although some costs are I mean, associated with it if we are going with the paid versions. of the models, but if we paid versions of the tools as well. But if we are just looking forward for some basic models and some basic drawings, then it is very cost effective in nature. The third dimension of AI in transforming multimedia is intelligent editing and enhancement. You can give the text that whatever, suppose I need a proper description, I need a picture of a penguin near an iceberg, watching an iceberg, and and seeing the water on the water of some ocean. Then what happens is it will create the text, it will create the image based on the text you have entered. So that means it has really become really intelligent, so the students that are generating the images from these tools, they are really saving their times, and they are generating it in fraction of seconds. So they are intelligent also, because today, in today's time, we don't need hard workers, right? We need people who can work hard to work smart, right? How smarter you can become to in accomplishing a particular work, that is more important here. So for that, we also need hardworking people as well, because jab tak aap is cheez ke liye you're not proficient enough in a particular technology, or in the usage of particular tool, you will not be able to do it intelligently. The fourth dimension of it is personalization of content. Suppose I want to generate an image of myself taking a particular session for DBIT in a particular FDP. I can just give a prompt and put my image to that, and then it can generate a particular image for with the audience sitting there, and I can put it to my social media. So imagine the personalization of content can go up to that level, right? Interactive and immersive experiences. Of course, now we are talking about virtual reality, we are talking about immersive experiences, we are talking about augmented reality, mixed reality. So what all these are there? All of these were initially multimedia things, they were just videos, but now the superimposition of information of a particular area. Suppose what happens is you are wearing a headgear, and you have gone to some city of UK, and you're traveling on the roads. So a particular image is there on your spectacles or on your headgear, and that particular image is also superimpositioned with the information about that particular area. Suppose you are roaming to Trafalgar Square, London, and you get the information about the dimensions, about the GPS location, about the information, about other information about that particular area, superimposed on that particular area while you walk on the street. So, I mean, it has AI, virtual reality, mixed reality. They have taken multimedia to next levels. The next dimension is smarter content management and search. Of course, when we get such smart content, we can manage it effectively, and the search operations can again be like easy for us to implement the things. The next dimension is real time processing and live application. Of course, we can generate any image and get the live discussions and live information about that discussion while you ask for some image of me taking a particular session for this FDP. We can get the real time processing for it using ChatGPT and Dell AI and Dell other models, so that the look and feel of this session becomes really good. So these were few areas, or these were few dimensions where the AI has taken multimedia into. Now, as far as we are talking about AI, then we used to talk about AI earlier. Few years back, machine learning was also an very important, research area for the upcoming researchers and for us too. Neural networks were also a particular important area through which predictive analysis were done. Various neural network model were used for healthcare sectors and others. Now it is an era of deep learning and generative AI. Now we cannot we cannot think of having predictive analysis just by ML models. We must understand that we as educators, we are jumping or leaping into an era where our students are using generative AI, where our students are using deep learning models to generate few things, few things, such videos that can, I mean, that can be devastating or that can be super knowledgeable. So the thing is, the AI, since AI has pushed the limits of multimedia beyond, so the models like deep learning and generative AI has have become the I mean, the need for the hour for the faculty members, the need for the hour for the educators, because they have to really look into these models, generate generate such things, and must convey our students in that way so that these technologies or these tools are not misinterpreted or miscommunicated. So we are now dealing with an era of deep learning and generative AI, which are pushing the limits of multimedia to the next levels. Now, why should we use basically AI for content creation? That is an important question. You see, we all go through affiliation processes. We all go through, inspection processes, and we understand that how much time consuming a document preparation is, and how much time consuming the diagrammatical representation of a particular document is. So we must understand that the limited time and the ample amount of opportunities that we can get by just generating a particular image in fraction of seconds is like is really important. So AI plays a very important role in content creation and generation because of its speed, its cost effectiveness, its creative assistance, and increased awareness. This point I will really focus upon, that awareness regarding the content generation using AI is really needed, because whenever I'm speaking, suppose there is a case study and I'm speaking onto that particular case study, and particular images are created accordingly on the smart boards that are there in my class. Imagine the content delivery, and imagine the impact that would create for a student. Really nice. So this is in today's world, that when you know the power of AI, when you know how powerful you can be while using, while content creation, while creating a content using AI, it can, how aware you are when you get awareness about it, how much time and how much effective your teaching learning practices can be. So whenever we are generating a particular content or we are creating a particular content, we need to really focus upon what particular content is. I mean, we are going for script writing. So this is, of course, we have the chat gpt models, chat gpt 3, chat gpt 4 models. Whether we are translating a particular language, we have different models to do that, we have different tools to do that. And it is very necessary because although English is considered to be a global language, but the regional language, as national education policy suggests, that we should convey a particular topic in regional language as well, and it gives the people, it gives the student, the proficiency, because they have the proficiency of that particular regional language, they can get the particular topic easily, they can explain that particular topic easily. So language translation model is really important, are really important. Audio video content generation, obviously wherever we are storytelling and we get a proper image, proper edited view in AI generated, video going with it, it is really going to be amazing. The content delivery would be really nice. The content generation covers these areas. Blog contents, obviously all of us are there on social media, whether it is LinkedIn, whether it is Instagram, whether it is Facebook, so and various other professional platforms as well, like Twitter and all. So if we get proper language that should be posted on, it can really encourage other researchers too based on that language. I mean, the analysis of language, the sentiment analysis area goes into that. It can give you a better view of what a particular audience or what a particular person wants to say on the social, using social media blogs. So all of them are moving in circle. If you generate a particular content using AI and posting it to your social media websites, then it can be producing some research data, and this research data can be used for further analysis. This analysis would be added to other social media things, and this analysis would add to the content creation using AI. So this is a vicious cycle. Social media post I have already covered. Content optimization, of course, if you want to deliver a particular content in a limited in an optimized manner, that it can improve the accuracy of the content delivery person, it can improve the pedagogical initiatives taken by any institute. So these are basically the pros of using AI in content creation. Now, if we move to deeper levels of AI ML diagram that we have already seen in the picture in the slide above. So, generative AI has taken over today's social media content creation, image filtering, video synthesis, everything. So, when we talk about generative AI, it is actually transforming the field of multimedia content creation, communication, and enhancement by creating new videos, audios, video content, automating many traditional production tasks, and the key applications involve content creation and ideation. Imagine a particular company that is creating a particular design for its product, and the creative team has to form a particular the banners and a particular production chain for the product. They can create the layouts, they can create the descriptions, they can create the banners associated with that particular product in seconds. They can make their own design variations on the available pictures, and that can act as a creative partner to overcome that particular delivery. Because sometimes you need someone to assist upon your designs, or someone to just fill upon what your ideas are actually there. You can have a creative layout drawn on the paper, but if you want it to be drawn for a particular banner, then it is a different practice. Earlier we used to draw it that way, but the content creation ideation has become so easy for us using generative AI models. The second area that it goes through is image generation and editing. Of course, you can give the text prompts, you can give the photo prompts, you can give the images in a way, and then generation can be done. Suppose yesterday only what I did was I had drawn a particular flow chart of official purposes, drawn a particular flow chart for some official purposes, and then I gave a prompt to ChatGPT that image needs to be transformed into something with blue backgrounds and pastel colors, and the flow should be this way. We should be having particular arrows in upward direction in going to other direction, and it generated a particular diagram for me, which I edited again on my on my available tools, so that I can give the exact image of what I had in mind. Imagine that realism can be associated any time into that image, that can be edited any time into that image. But once that particular diagram has been drawn by some assistive tool, then what is the harm in doing that? I mean, it is giving you a particular image of your thoughts, and it has given you that power that you can just portray your thoughts into images of a particular style. Video synthesis, of course, if you want to watch a particular film and you don't have that much time, you want to watch it in short clips, what you can do is you can give some synthesizer, you can give that input to some synthesizer, and it can give you the synthesis of that particular video, the talking avatars, the automating complex visual graphics and everything in the animation workflows. The fourth area is audio generation. So I mean, we must have watched movie Simba. I think some people must have watched it. So Simba movie mein, there were animated characters and there were voiceover artists by the film industry who used to dub that particular thing. So the audio generation can be done using AI, and it is being done in film industry in today's times. What is they can give some particular voice to that synthesizer, and it is generating the dialogues from on that particular pitch and in that particular tone. Although it has various disadvantages also, because earlier the voiceover artists were getting suppose 15 assignments in a particular month, then now they are getting 7 8 assignments. Although it has, I mean, थोड़ा उस पे असर तो पड़ा है, the in the area of voiceover artists and everything, the generation part, the audio generation part, but this has been a really good application in AI that has taken multimedia to next levels. The quality enhancement, suppose you have a blurred image or you have an image which is very old, then you can generate a particular good or colorful image, super resolution image, removing the noise and other artifacts from that particular file and getting that particular image in a more refined form. So it has been done and it is being used. Localization, personalization, as I have already said, that when we talk about the virtual reality and immersive reality, and we are getting the responses, when we are getting the responses in personalization and localization form, then why we should not use generative AI for a better personalization experience, but a better personalized experience. So when we talk about the core approaches in generative AI, then there are various models associated with it. The GAN models, the variational autoencoders, which has originated from autoencoder models, and autoregressive models. I will not be able to go into detail because these are different areas of, generative AI, really deeper ones. So, but I would really like you to have an essence of how these models are generating multimedia for today's time, and how these models are generating images and videos in today's time, so that the multimedia experiences has improved for us, for the viewers, a lot. So, सबसे पहले I would go through variational autoencoders, that is VAE models. So it is a type of generative AI, generative deep learning model, used to learn the underlying distribution of data and generate new and similar data samples. I mean, if you give a particular input, whether it is in form of image, text, or audio, it is actually associated with encoders and decoders. If you see the diagram here, so the encoder's task is to accept the input, process it, and then it passes it on to the decoder that will reconstruct the input in a way and then produces a particular finer image of what you gave the input. Also, it is used to generate various associated samples of that particular image. By saying that various associated samples, I would say that suppose you have a medical imaging data, you have MRI images of suppose 500 case studies. So you have 500 images of MRI data, but the data set is not, sufficient enough to be processed for a particular research. and you need to create, 1000 more images, associated images of that particular data set. So what we can do is, you can give that particular MRI images to the encoder part, to the variational autoencoder model, and the encoder will then process the compress the representation, and it will pass it on to decoder and will generate various other images associated, can be associated with that particular image what you gave input as. So imagine this has really increased the number of images in your data set. Earlier it was just 500, now it has taken it to 1500, and now it can be processed into various research methods and various research health research of healthcare industry, so that it can be used to generate inferences from that data. How it does that? It uses probabilistic representation of data. It uses probability models, and then generate the data. Pixel by pixel information is read, and on the basis of that pixel by pixel information, the probabilistic model generates the next image or next pixel based on the previous pixel information. And this is done on the basis of statistical approaches, that is mean and variance. The sampling is to be done from this distribution, and then decoder reconstructs or generates new data from the latent space. So this is the variational autoencoder model, how it goes. How the basic of the model goes through. I'll not be able to cover the entire thing because this is again a very deep model, and it needs at least regular some hours of study for this. Around 20 to 25 hours content it is there on variational autoencoder models. I would just request the faculty members to kindly go through these models, because this will, if you are researching in multimedia, if you are researching into deep learning, then these models are really really interesting, and you must go through these models. This is the basic representation. Now, how these AI, VAE model is used in today's time for multimedia, it is for anomaly detection. Suppose you are given with some text information and you need to check the anomalies present in that, or you are given with some images and then you have to check the altered images and fake images. Then VAE can be used to find that. Image compression is an again application of VAE. Data generation and augmentation, I just gave an example of MRI data, that MRI, if 500 data set, 500 images of particular data set is available with you, and you have to generate it for another 1500 or 1000 images, then it can be used for that. Text generation, of course, when it can generate the video and audios and other synthesizing models, then it can generate the text as well. Music and audio generation, it can work for images, it can work for videos, it can work for text, it can work for audio generation. That is why voice over artists are really hit on by this by these models. And the recommendation systems as well, like Netflix. What Netflix does is, if you watch a particular movie, it initiates a recommendation system for you, and it will line up all the movies of that same genre or all of same interest on your dashboard, so that you can watch or you can go through the same kind of genre again and again. So these are for applications of VAE. The next model that deep learning goes through is generative adversarial networks. When we are talking about when we were talking about VAE, then they used to use probabilistic model for the generation of data, whereas GAN models, they have two particular neural networks associated with it: generator and discriminator. Both the neural network models work hand in hand and work separately as well. Generator will generate the particular image, it creates the fake data from random noises that looks realistic. Discriminator will check whether the particular image that has been generated is realistic or fake. So when they walk on same data, when they work on same data parallelly, what they do is generator fake images को produce करेगा, discriminator will check the image is fake or not, and this way they will improve their self, and by the end of training both the models will converge to a point where a particular image is generated. And it is and then it is really difficult for naked eye to discriminate between the fake data and the actual data. So this particular model uses game theoretical based approach where two players compete against each other to optimize. I mean, both of them will play accordingly and will see that the maximum cost is given to that particular, the maximum advantages are given to that particular player, and then their objectives are optimized. So adversarial training process goes through these two things, generator and discriminator. What happens is, suppose a particular image or particular random noise is given in the form of pixel information to the generator. The generator will generate a sample based on that particular noise. The real sample that is already there as test data or the target data, the discriminator will compare between both the datas and then translate if it is real or fake. Whatever the total loss is, it is further back propagated to discriminator and generator as well, and these images are again, and this learning process will go through various steps or various epochs to generate a particular image. So this is basically, I'm just covering the basic of these models, where GAN models are being used for image generation, of course, video generation, image to image translation, super resolution, gaming, and VR. I would really like to mention you here is I mean, I have a recent when recently to nahi, but I have done my MTech, and then in my MTech I did a project where I developed a particular gaming platform for children with who have this autism spectrum disorder. So the thing is, I have generated a particular game, and it has used virtual reality tools for such children, and then they can in gamified platform only, in the form of games only, these children are being taught that what are the best practices, what they should do in their daily lives. I mean, if it is simple a hand washing thing, these children need to be taught that as well, right? So when you are teaching them, then in the form of multimedia or in the form of a gamified platform, they can understand it really well. Because हम भी ये चीज जानते हैं, the time or the amount of time that we and the children are spending today on their phones, on the screen time, is really huge, although it is a challenge for the parents too. But I would really say that these can be used as educational tools as well. Many of the faculty members here must be using it already while teaching. Suppose there's a simple game that explains towers of Hanoi in data structures, and I mean, many of the teachers would really relate to me when we are teaching it using some gamified platform. Whether it is a simple topic of towers of Hanoi, then student take it differently. They जो उसका recursive approach है, अगर हम वैसे पढ़ाएंगे तो I guess nobody would listen to us and they'll say कि नहीं समझ में आया, everything is all clear. But when we are teaching it with the help of maths is one game, then it is really engaging for them. They'll pay attention to that, and the things will be really easy for them. So I'm trying to say that GAN models have taken multimedia to next levels, and they are generating things like this. Now, if we compare both the models, as far as I have explained also, that they GAN models uses to complete different networks, that is generator and discriminators, where VAE use encoders and decoders for their as their architectural part. They use, I mean, the probability distribution of data, and then reconstruct the data. As far as GAN models are concerned, they generate sharp and realistic images, whereas VAE generates slightly blurry images which are stable but blurry in nature. The edges are not fine enough. As far as GAN models are concerned, they are really unstable in nature, whereas and difficult to train as well, because they are again the output is again feed backwards to the models and then they are trained again. Whereas in case of VAE, they are stable and easy to train. Another model that comes into picture is autoregressive models. So it is a type of model that generates data step by step or pixel by pixel. The process is the model sees the previous data, it predicts the next token or pixel or next sound or next word, excuse me, and just excuse me. Yeah. It predicts the next token, pixel, sound, or word, and it adds it to the sequence and repeats this process until the completion is done. So, autoregressive models are actually working on the principles of GAN and VAE, but they have certain points of difference from these models, from earlier models. Now, autoregressive models are actually being used in Chat GPT and GPT models. They are generating pixel by pixel information. They are generating music. They are generating speech. तो जो जितने भी हम चैट जीपीटी मॉडल्स 1 2 3 जितने भी प्रीवियस मॉडल्स थे या आगे जो भी चैट जीपीटी मॉडल्स आएंगे they have already been used they are already being used using autoregressive models or diffusion models. So if you see that AI for multimedia creation ये कहाँ use हो चुका है, then AI is used for music tools. Music melodies generate करने के लिए, of course we have Caravan also that says that you can have a personalized AI music teacher associated on that app, and then the particular group of people can use that particular app for learning musical tools or learning musical notes. For voice generation, as I'm speaking, I since my voice is not clear, maybe because my throat is not proper, so I can generate my voice by putting some previous recorded lectures and then generate that particular this lecture for for this particular FDP. For podcast generation, of course, people are being using these particular generation. They put certain sections of their podcasts in a way that they are auto generated or they are not realistically recorded. AI in film industry, of course, voiceover artist, various visual effects that we are using. In South movies, they are using these visual effects to create a different experience as well, which is really great. AI in education content, of course, we can use gamified platforms to teach our daily boring stuff, so they can be made more interesting while using AI for social media content. Obviously, every one of us is using social media and we are generating posts from chat gpt and other AI models. For game designing, for AR VR and MR, for virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. As I've already given you an example, that if you're moving somewhere and you get the image of superimposition, after superimposition of information regarding that particular street, it is going to be really amazing. For image generation and designing, of course, the multimedia industry that is generating advertisements and banners for a particular product, they can get really assisted upon by such AI tools, and they can generate innovative ideas using that. They can change it accordingly and give personalized experience to that. Now, इस पूरे AI के, I mean, the multimedia applications that AI being a benefit to, the main thing or the main crux is prompt engineering. मैंने शायद पहले भी एक दो डिस्कशंस में कभी बात हुई हो कहीं किसी प्लेटफॉर्म पे, so I have really told that how effectively you use a particular chat gpt model to generate a particular multimedia or text is really the essence of that particular query lies in prompt engineering. And many of the universities also have included prompt engineering as the subject in their curriculum, because prompt engineering really needs to be seen up by, I think, everyone. But as educators, we really need to work upon that, and we really need to see what effective prompt we should give to these models to generate better, better responses and more usable responses. So AI models are more powerful, but their outputs depends heavily on input prompt. A well-written prompt can improve accuracy, increase creativity, reduces errors, saves time, and produce high-quality results. So suppose a naive student is giving a prompt. I would not say naive student, because students are really intelligent and they are giving prompts like that, and we teachers have to really work upon that, because हमको keywords शायद वो नहीं पता होंगे जो students use करके अच्छे models generate करके लाते हैं, अच्छे pictures generate करके लाते हैं. There was a news a few days back in the paper also that now IITs have also they have permitted their students that they can use ChatGPT to generate a particular project or a particular advertisement or a particular जो भी आपको research paper produce करना है. But the only thing is, as evaluators, they will check what prompts you are giving to your model, to the generative AI model. That will actually check कि कितना कार्बन फुटप्रिंट प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है, and on the basis of that they'll accept the project or reject the project. मतलब copying is allowed, but the main crux is the kind of load it is generating on the development, sustainable development goals. They have linked everything to SDGs. So prompt engineering is actually linking everything to SDGs. And since we are generating content from these generative AI models, we have to really need to learn prompt engineering so that it can lead to SDGs. And then the output that is being produced will be more, engaging for the class. It will be more impressive for the audience. So multimedia today has taken up a phase that is leading everything to sustainable development goals. So this topic, when I started, when I got the information that I have to deliver a lecture on this, I was going through the available resources on net, and I was just checking कि अगर मैं सिर्फ ये बताऊं कि what are the approaches that are used in multimedia and how can you make, so that will not be more, that will not be more engaging. So I really gone into this area where generative AI models are being used to create multimedia, and that will touch to an area of prompt engineering touching SDGs. So because we as educators, we really need to work on that, and we really need to associate everything for other aspects as well. So prompt engineering is heavily used in text to image generation, text to video creation, logo and poster designing, storyboarding and animation, script writing and narration, music and sound generation. So imagine that multimedia that can be generated using AI. Prompt engineering really plays an important role in that. What prompt you give and what the kind of prompt you give, how much carbon footprint it will produce, it will mark, that is really important for us. So that is why all these fields are interlinked. Now, talking about few tools for multimedia generation, then DAL-E, as I've already mentioned, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, these are for some of the tools that are used for multimedia generation nowadays. So if you associate these tools with the main models used, so Midjourney, DAL-E, and Stable Diffusion tools use diffusion models for generating the videos, text, and audios from the particular data set. Whereas StyleGAN and VAE based tools use GAN models and VAE to generate the multimedia content. Where Midjourney is used for graphic designing, advertising, social media, game designing, film concept art, storyboarding. Where ChatGPT is used, I guess everybody of us know it can generate PPTs, it can generate flowcharts, it can generate images. So DAL-E is widely used in the area of design, education, marketing, gaming, media, and web.
ये सेट नहीं हुआ अभी अपने आप होगा
Uh,
मतलब तू आयरलैंड ही रहना चाह रहा है या तू यहाँ वापस आना चाह रहा है कैसे चाह रहा है
तो जब जब आता हूँ
I
तो फिर
would,
ऐसा लगता है ID का
excuse me, I would really request the
उसको फिर टाइम
moderator to kindly
और ही
ask the
कितना वही जा रहा है
participant.
कुछ भी नहीं आ रहा है
सही में हरियाणा में तो जो हरियाणा के लोग हैं दे आर लाइक फुल जैसे पंजाब में तो फिर भी वो है मतलब कि लेन देन है अगर आपने किसी का लिया तो
I would
चलो वापस
request
देना यहाँ
someone
तो
to kindly mute the participants. Somebody from DBIT.
पीआर लेने के लिए
कहाँ जाएंगे आप?
लाइब्रेरी
ये नाम लिखे ना मैडम का, लाइब्रेरी जाऊंगी। हाँ तो लिख लिया ममता।
हाउ इज योर फादर
कैपिटल नहीं है ना, है क्या?
नहीं
हमारे तो पापा हमेशा एंग्री यंग मैन रहते थे जब वो वी वर ग्रोइंग अप बहुत ही डांट पड़ती मैं तो बहुत ही रहते
Thank you.
मैं तो ना बहुत ही मतलब जैसे ना आई हैड टू प्रूव एवरी टाइम कि आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग ह्यूमन बीइंग और मैं गलत इंसान नहीं हूँ और मैं मतलब उनका डिजर्विंग बच्चा हूँ क्योंकि वो बाय डिफॉल्ट मुझ में अपने सारे शायद वो देखते थे
That was lovely to have some participant talking about personal things, but I would really request the participant to kindly bear me for another 10 minutes, and then you are free to discuss all your personal things. I'll be, I would be really uh, entertained by such things. Thank you so much. But so the career opportunities for these are AI artists, prompt engineers, and creative technologists. Yeah. So I think the participants started at a very right time. So I was almost on the verge of finishing. Thanks a lot, all the participants, for having patience. And over to the moderator.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would like to inform the participant that if somebody is having any questions regarding to ma'am's session, they can post it on chat. Otherwise, we will be proceeding for the conclusion. Yes.
Any questions? Uh, I would really like to answer Akanksha. Yeah, that is to the moderator and the organizers of the FDP. But yes, you can. Many of the tools. They're available on YouTube, so you can have a view with there also. Much of the content is already available on Google. So बाकी तो जैसे ऑर्गेनाइजर्स की परमिशंस रहेगी वी वुड रियली would really love to have a session on that as well. Thank you so much.
So any other participant want to ask any other question?
Yes, I think there is one more question. What new competencies should educators develop to effectively integrate generative AI into teaching and research? Yes, ma'am, I would really like to answer that. Of course, the content that is generated from generative AI will come into certain flag tools. So, matlab, but directly we cannot say that it can add to some the production of some document. But I can really say that since these areas and these models are creating huge amount of data for us, we can always go to the data set creation part, and we can always work for the predictive analysis for such data, and using autoencoders we can develop the search data.
Ma'am, we are having one more question
Yes.
from Rachit Karyan, that how will
Yeah.
generative AI redefine the role of educators and learners over the next decades?
See, we really need to see, Rachit, that generative AI, it has become a competitor for us. But I would really say then obviously machine will machinize and human will humanize. So we need to really look generative AI as a assistant for creating the content, but not as a we cannot take it that way. Educators can use generative AI to deliver such models, to deliver content with great pedagogical initiatives using generative AI. So these can be few areas that educators can use it. We as educators can use in research models. These models we can use in research as well, and for generating the data in for healthcare sectors. And if somebody would really love to have an research area of this, where the disabilities of people can be worked upon using this generative AI models, that is going to be a great idea. Actually, I am into this area. That is why I always seek for opportunities from the academia to accompany me. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And we are taking one last question from Bhaswati Das. And she is asking that in what ways can prompt engineering encourage critical thinking rather than over reliance on AI?
Yes, of course. Prompt engineering would take us to relying AI, but then of course, as human minds, we need to alter that data. We can get some input from there, and then restructure that particular input by giving it a human touch. So that is my answer.
Very true, ma'am. And with this, we like to conclude the session. And I would like to call Mr. Amandeep Singh Arora, Associate Professor, VIT Delhi, to extend the vote of thanks to Dr. Harshita Tuli, ma'am. Over to
Thank you, Rohit sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, Rohit sir. Commit to the Lord whatever you do,
Thank you, sir.
and He will establish your plans. Trust in Him with all your heart and learn not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. With this beautiful reminder of guidance, dedication, and wisdom, I, Amandeep Singh, HODIT, take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude at the conclusion of this enriching Day 2 FDP Session 4. First and foremost, I would like to extend our sincere thanks to Dr. Harshita Tuli Sikroria, Deputy Head AI and ML, Lloyd Institute of Engineering and Technology, for delivering such an insightful and engaging session on multimedia and visual content creation using AI. Ma'am, your expertise, practical insights, and inspiring examples have empowered all of us to explore innovative teaching strategies with confidence. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your knowledge so generously. I would also like to express our profound gratitude to our respected chairman, sir, Professor Sergeant M. George, for his constant encouragement and visionary leadership and also to our director, sir, Professor Vikas Rao Wadi, for his unwavering support and guidance, which has been instrumental in making this FDP a success. My heartfelt thanks to our Vice Principal Ma'am, Professor Shalu Tandon, for her motivation, academic support, and continuous engagement throughout the program. Thank you, ma'am. A special note of appreciation goes to the conveners of the FDP, whose tireless efforts in planning, coordination, and execution of this program ensured that everything ran smoothly. I would also like to thank my co-HODs, Dr. Nayak, HOD Commerce, and Dr. Azrat Usmani, HOD Management, for their constant support and cooperation. A special word of thanks goes to our Registrar, Sir, Dr. Sanjay Kumar Singh, and also to our program coordinators, Ms. Charanpreet Kaur from MCA Department and Dr. Santosh from MBA. I would also like to sincerely acknowledge all the faculty members of our institute for their hard work, dedication, and active participation. Your enthusiasm, commitment, and collaborative spirit have greatly contributed to the success of this session. Finally, my thanks goes to all the participants for their keen involvement, interactive questions, and engagement throughout the session. Your energy and curiosity have made this learning experience truly meaningful and rewarding. Once again, we are grateful to everyone who contributed to make this FDP a great success. May we continue to learn, innovate, and inspire one another in all our endeavors. Thank you all and have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Thank
Arshita
you so
ma'am,
much,
for
Aman
joining
sir.
us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah.
Thank you, Aman sir. Thank you, Ashita ma'am. And with
Thank you.
this, I would like every participant to please turn on their camera so we can have a photograph along with our esteemed speaker for the day. Again, I would like to request to please all the participants need to turn on their camera. With this, I would like to conclude the end session for today's FDP, and I will thank our esteemed guest and all the participants for joining today. And for tomorrow, I would suggest that we will be joining with the same link. And again, I would recommend to please fill the feedback form so the certification process can be done smoothly. Thank you all. Have a good day and good night.